G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's mission, our old Hilux here. Brake lights have stopped working, so gone through, checked the basic things. Bulbs are good. I put new bulbs in it only in the last month or two, so no issues there. Checked the fuses are fine. So I'm tending to think I've got an issue with the brake light switch. So reasoning behind that is that both lights are out. So if I had a wiring issue, I would assume that probably one or the other might be a problem, but since both are out, I'm tending to lean on a faulty brake light switch now. So they're a pretty basic switch, they're on or off. As you put your foot on the brake, it allows the pin inside the switch to make contact and sends power down to your brake light. So it's really basic. So plan today, jump in the car, rip the cowl out, rip the switch out, and we'll see if we can fix it. Alright, so we're going to dive in under the dash here. So we've got screw here, one over here, and then just a couple up the top here, and then we'll be able to access the switch nice and easy. Really hard to film this, guys. It's pretty tight in here, but we're going to do our best. Alright, so we got the switch out, but before we go and test it over in the shed, what I've got here is just a little piece of wire. So what I'm going to do is the plug underneath the dash here, I'm going to bridge across the two terminals. We'll go down the back. What should happen to confirm the switch issue is we'll bridge across the two wires, we'll turn the ignition on, and it'll kind of trick the system to thinking that the brake light switch is activated, and we should see some brake lights. So whack these two in. Alright, you want to head down the back there, NMAC, and just point it on the lights, tail lights, and I'll turn the key on. Ready?
Yep.
Brake lights on?
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, simple little wire trick. The only thing is, if you're doing it this way, just careful. I haven't got this wire fused, so if I put one end into the power side and then this end falls out, then it's going to be live and it could arc around in the back. So if you're going to use it like I've done, just be mindful. Alright, so let's head down to the shed and we'll pull this thing apart. Alright, so we're going to just do, I know that I said I've checked it, but I'm just going to show you a little bit of the diagnostics around how I got to the point to thinking that it was the brake light switch. So, like I said earlier, I've gone, the bulbs are good. I know the bulbs are good because I've recently replaced them, and I've re-replaced them to make sure that there wasn't an issue. They're only cheap, it's an easy thing to eliminate first up. So, bulbs are good. Second thing, with this particular Hilux, I want to come to the main fuse panel. So fuse panels in these cars are all in different places. There's no standard spot, so refer to your manufacturer's handbook and have a look. On this particular lid, it shows here that my stop fuse is a 10 amp fuse, and off the lid here it shows me the orientation of where the fuse is. So I've got my trusty multimeter here. My 10 amp fuse is the one that I need to check. So I put it on the earth of the battery on one side of the fuse, and you can see the light lights up indicating that power's there. Then I go to the other side of the fuse, I check it with the fuse intact, the power is going to go from one side to the other. I've checked that and the light lights up, so I know it's good. So it just gives me more reason to believe that my problem sits with the brake light switch and not with the bulbs or something like a fuse. Alright, so first things first guys, switch is out. So what you want to be mindful of is this little lock nut right here. So what it can do is it can adjust the position of how deep this engages into the mounting bracket. All you want to do when you take this out is just crack it and unscrew it. If you adjust that, what it's actually going to do when you put it back in is it's going to adjust the point at which the pedal is dropped before your switch comes on. So no need to adjust it because it threads in and out. So crack the nut. What we want to do is we've just got 2 pins on the back here. So the first test, we're just looking for continuity. What that means is got trusty old multimeter here. Just want to turn it on to ohms. I'm not worried about any kind of voltage or whatever's passing through it at the moment. All I'm interested in is when the switch is in its, we'll call it activated space, where it would be as if the pedal was pushed down. Do we have continuity between these 2 pins here? So once I've got it set up on ohms here, right, all I'm actually listening for at the moment is a beep. I'm not worried about any numbers or any resistance or any of that yet. I'm literally just looking to see if there is continuity. Time to test the switch. So as you've seen, I think that the issue is here because using that bridging piece of wire that goes across the 2 effectively is the same as creating a contact in the switch. So let's pull the switch apart and we'll have a bit of a look and see what's going on inside. Right, so first things first, we've got these 4 little tabs on the corners holding this plastic piece on. So we just want to lever them back gently. You got to remember it's really thin metal, this stuff, so you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 chances of bending this stuff, so before they break. Poor old cuddle dog's a bit sad it's raining here today, but yeah, like I said, you're only going to get a couple of chances at bending it, so you really need to be careful of breaking the holding clamp and then also shoving the screwdriver through your finger. So just going to release those and see it's loose. What I'll do is I'll grab a pen I don't think it's going to make any difference, but I'm just going to make a mark there and a mark there, just so that if we get this thing pulled apart it can get indexed back and go in the right spot. So just carefully pull this thing apart, and there we've got a couple of contacts inside. So a little return spring, the plunger, what's that, a little bit of stuff coming out of it, but these 2 contacts. So what we're going to do, I'll pull it apart. We'll have a look in here and just see if these contacts are a little bit dirty and not passing the right enough. We'll pull it apart and we'll check these contacts and see if they're just not passing through the right amount of current to actually be able to switch the lights on. So there. Contact 1. I'll try and get my fat fingers out of the way here, guys. But as you can see, getting really close, there's a little bit of burnt stuff on the end here. So we'll get the other one out, we'll give them a bit of a clean up, and then once they're cleaned up, we'll put it back together and we're going to go out and retest it. So clean them up, a little bit of sandpaper, a little bit of light emery. All you want to do is just take off any of the sort of burnt area where the contact's been made. So I'll go find some sandpaper and we'll be back. Okay, I don't know how good it's going to show up on camera here, but try and get behind it. You can just see on these 2 contacts the burn. So what we'll do, just got a little bit of fine grit sandpaper here. I don't want to take really anything off it if I can help it. All I'm looking to do is just clean it up. So what I'm going to do, clean it up, I'll put it back together and I'll retest it. Now, there is an option if I need to. I can try and build it up with a little bit of solder. The problem with that is I'm only talking about such a tiny little amount here that one little blob of solder just means probably a lot of filing and a lot of work to get it right. So there's still a little bit burnt in the middle, but there's a bit of wear on it, so that's actually not the contacting surface anymore. So I'm not sure how you'll see, but I've given it a light little sand and we've got a nice contact area there now. So these are the two prongs that go through the plastic part of the switch and then contact the wiring in the car to send the power down to the back lights. So same thing, it's a little bit fiddly, it's a bit hard to see, but just a light little sand. I'm not actually looking to take any material off it, I'm just looking to clean up the contacted surface. Now that one doesn't look too bad, but while we're here, we're going to give it a little clean anyway. And that's it. So from here, we've got one that goes in, we've got two that goes in, and then this little piece sits underneath the two. Just like that. So we rely upon then the spring down in the hole, like so, to push the contact off. So like I said, what happens is the brake pedal is in its resting position, pushes down, contacts open. When you push on the brake pedal, the pedal comes away from this end, allows the plunger to come forward and make a contact. So we send power in one side, across, and then out the other down to the brake lights. So let's get this back together and get it in the car. So I'll see you back at the car, guys. Alright, so back from the shed, pulled it apart, cleaned the terminals out. So what I've done, just to confirm that everything's working, is in this position now, I've plugged it in, checked the lights, and the lights work. So confirmed that this is or was the problem, and it's now good. So when it's in this state, it's like it would be if the brake pedal is applied. So what happens is the pedal is going to be pulled back with a spring like that, opens a connection, and the lights turn off. So checked it, it's all good. I'm going to dive back in here, plug it all in, screw it up, and we should have brake lights. So let's do it. Alright, so we've got the switch reinstalled, the wire in, ignition on. I'll spin you around. Alright mate, hit the foot brake and off, on, off. Well, there you have it. Easy as that, guys. Saved myself about $75 by having to buy a new switch simply by giving it a little bit of a clean up. So they're all going to be just a little bit different, but fundamentally they all operate on the same kind of principle. So look, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to head back now, knock up that internal trim, and head out, go for a drive, and know that I'm not going to get run up the backside of. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. That'll help me build a little bit of a following, and I'll see you on the next one.